Hey Bits and Bytes, it's time for another one of those Q&A things with the Patreon. We got 5 questions here for you today. The first 4 are from Woofy. The first one is, when did you first think you wanted to do voiceover work, characters and whatnots? I remember you mentioning it in some of your videos here and there. First wanted to do voiceover work. I mean, hasn't everyone like thought about it at least once? Is it just me and like maybe 100 other people on the planet? I guess just you do a weird voice, like you grow up, you watch a cartoon or you play a video game and you're like, I can do that voice. I'm gonna be a voice actor. Like there's a lot more than just weird voices, as pretty much every voice actor will tell you. They're like, even if you could do just one voice, you gotta also just be a good actor, and I don't know. Apparently there's a lot more to it than you'd think. I would never say no to being in someone's like, you know, internet flash video or something though. I mean, not never. It would have to be like gross. But you know, I'd be in some of the more raunchy ones, just as long as I'm like a masked voice. Like, could you tell that was me? Yeah. Have you played any MMOs? If you have, do you have one you enjoyed above others? I've played World of Warcraft, I've played Final Fantasy XI. Well, that's one I got really obsessed with over the summer of 2005. But I really liked it, so much so that my mom did that thing she does when I like something too much, and she's like, this is not normal, you're grounded, and I did, yeah, it was I fell hard in love with that game. World of Warcraft was good too. I played up until, you know, do they still have that, like, you can play to level 20 thing? Because I played a priest up to level 20, and that was honestly, like, when I got bored anyway, and I just kind of stopped playing. Like, there's still a lot of fun to be had in the game, like, not knocking it, just, you know, to get deeper into it, you gotta spend a lot more time, you gotta have, you know, the freedom to dedicate to suddenly jumping into the game when there's, like, a raid, or loot, or other words that it's too much pressure. It's too much pressure. When did you first start gaming? Well, my first gaming memory is, my stepfather, first stepfather anyway. Maybe that answers a lot of questions, right, just in that one statement. His brother, who was really cool, his name was also Brian, Uncle Brian. He got a Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES, and he got, you know, the Duck Hunt / Super Mario Bros. Game. In the Super Mario Bros. Game, that was my first game I had ever played. And then, I can't remember if we got a NES or if we had just, like, he brought it over and then he just never got it back. He wasn't much of a gamer. He was one of those, like, just floating all over the place, super cool uncle guys. He was awesome. But, regardless of how he came about owning it or having it for a long period of time, I played it from when I was, like, 1 year old. And then by the time I was 18 months, allegedly, according to my mom, I had actually beaten Bowser. I had actually beaten the game. But I do remember, like, doing nothing but that for, like, months. So it's possible. I mean, I could have brute forced it. I just can't imagine, like, a 1.5-year-old beating Super Mario Bros. Like, I can't even do that now. But, you know, I think I'd like to believe the story. I'm gonna go with believing that. Like I'm some kind of special prodigy. Although I somehow lost the ability as I got older, I guess. I lost the sparkle. Have you done any pencil and paper or tabletop gaming? If so, any you like or dislike? I played Dungeons and Dragons, I think, what, 2.5? Is that the one that, like, the hardcore guys are like, if you don't play this version, then you're not a real D&D-er? Because I think I played that one. But it was the same story I've heard so many people have, where it's like, I just couldn't find a group where there weren't like 6 people like, nuh-uh! Duh-uh! Did I find a treasure? Okay, well, roll it again. Did I find a treasure? And it's like, I get it. Like, why couldn't I look for treasure like 6 times? Like, why couldn't I just look longer? But it just breaks up the flow of the game, and it was just terrible. And our final question comes from TJ. It says, has Lily ever been better at a game than you? Lethal League, if you get straight up into just like a batting back and forth match with Lily, she'll win. Like, It was probably button mashing, but I mean, it's a magical thing. It's a magical thing that reminds you of like how dirt we all are when you can practice a game so long and then you just go up against a little kid that's just like, and then they win. When I was little, I did that to someone. My mom and my first stepdad, they had a group of friends that were not the cleanest of sorts, but you know, they would have a barbecue every weekend, and they were always nice to me because, you know, I was like the son of the cool parent people. It was always over at their house. But anyway, one day I was playing a game called Battle Arena Toshinden, and it was for the PlayStation. It was like one of the first games. It was like so blocky, but not in the ironic way. It was like really bad looking, but it was really fun. And I remember I would button mash the heck out of that game, and I played up against someone because my mom was like, I bet my son could beat you, he's really good at this game. The guy's like, oh, whatever, who does he main? And I'm like, she has blue hair! And then yeah, we played, and I button mashed him into the dirt, and he was like red-faced and shaking, and like, they had to hold him back, and my dad kicked him out. But that's all for this month. Thank you for the questions, and thank you, lovely patrons. If you want to become a patron and ask questions, there's a link. Well, there's a link right wherever Editing Room Kakujo put it, but there's also one in the description, and links to other relevant things. You know the drill. And until next Q&A video, see you then.